भजेऽहं समस्तार्थसेवाधुरीणं शिवानन्दम्।
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापितं सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्न विराजितपदाम्बुजः वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्याय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चैतन्यं शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीता तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्ति समारूढ तत्त्वमाला विभूषितः भुक्तिमुक्ति प्रदाता च तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्ता कर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धोश्च ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदः गुरोर्पादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्री Gurave Namaha. Mannatha Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagat Guruhu Madatma Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gururadi Ranadescha Guru Paramadaivatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. A warm welcome to everyone on this auspicious occasion of Sivananda Janmotsav, the birthday of Sri Swami Sivananda ji. Swami Sivananda ji, everyone knows him, of course, and if there is anyone who doesn't know who is Swami Sivananda, I would like to read something which was said by our Guru Sri Swami Satyanand ji, who better can describe about Swami Sivananda than Sri Swami ji. So I'll just read what he says about his Guru, Sri Swami Sivananda. Right from the beginning, the world has been guided by spiritually illumined people who come from time to time to raise man's consciousness and to remind us of the way we must go. Swami Sivananda was one great soul who was born to give the word of spiritual life to thousands and thousands of people all over the globe. He never came to the West and he never went to the East, but today he is everywhere. A man who could convince the intellect. Of the many great men who have come in the galaxy of spiritual life in the last 30 to 50 years, I have met most. I have utmost faith, respect, devotion and acceptance for all of them, for their sterling personalities. But I have met practically no one in life who has been able to convince my keen intellect. I have always been critical about everything, including myself. But it was Swami Sivananda whose way of life, whose daily routine, external dealings, and expression of personal spiritual power were so convincing and impressive that I made him my guru. I am proud, or rather, I feel I am very fortunate to have Swami Sivananda as my guru. I do not mean to draw a comparison between others and Swami Sivananda, but definitely when I was young and when I grew up as a sannyasin, I had my own doubts about personalities. I saw a man who could perform miracles. My intellect used to ask, what is the necessity? And if he can perform miracles, then why not this one? And I would create a particular miracle in my mind. If I heard a person talking about the universality of religion and equality of man, my intellect used to put forth the question, why don't you practice it? And I used to think, what is the use of talking about it? I can also do that. If came across a great man who had renounced everything and preached detachment, I would look at him and a question would form. Then why don't you really live it rather than just trying to convince others? Like this, I went on criticizing throughout my life right from the age of 10. My intellect was always unconvinced about some point or other. But when I lived with Swamiji from 1943 to 1956, I was very keen on observing each and every action he performed and each and everything that he wrote in his books. I found that there was no gap between his preachings, his practices, and his personal life. Therefore, I summed up that when there is absolutely no gap between a man's thought, speech, and action, such a man is a Mahatma, one who has universal consciousness, his inner personality. The life of Swami Sivananda, as I know it, was the life of a simple, innocent child. In fact, he did not have even a trace of the ego of a yogi. When you reach a high point in spiritual evolution, you become a child, not meaning childish, but innocent like a child. Everything in Swami Sivananda was so natural. He did not have to practice it, nor did he need to think about it. It was as though his personality, mind, body, and spirit were all emanating a type of fragrance. There are two types of people, those who express their nature and those who express their intellect. I have seen many people who are very humble, but that is not their nature. They are shrewd people, but they behave humbly with others. I have seen people with charity and compassion, but I can smell it. That is not their nature. They have faith in it, so they do it. I have seen people with purity, continence, chastity, and generosity, but I definitely know these were not part of their nature. They were expressions of their faith. You may be compassionate, humble, charitable, and pure, but is this what you really are? Or is it just the way you have trained yourself to be because you know that these are very good qualities? Swami Sivananda was not an artificial good man. He was intrinsically, basically, and primarily good because that was the element in him. In my eyes, that is the one thing that made Swami Sivananda completely different from all others I have met in my life. His life. Swami Sivananda was born on 8 September 1887 in the south of India on the bank of Tamraparne river. There were prophecies that the next incarnation of divinity would be born on these banks. In his family about 3 centuries ago, there was another saint who was highly honored as a great teacher and devotee of Lord Shiva. So naturally, Swami Sivananda imbibed all the greatness from his family lineage. He became a doctor, went to Malaysia and served as a medical man up to 1922. When he realized that man's melodies were deeply in nature, deeper in nature, he left the profession, returned to India, and was initiated into sannyasa in 1924. From 1923, he remained in Rishikesh until his death in 1963. He did not mean to develop an ashram, but one grew up around him. He did not intend to make disciples and became a guru, but disciples rallied around him and made him a guru. The band of disciples grew year by year until finally they had to search for a place where they could all live together at the site of the present Rishikesh ashram. There was a dilapidated cowshed which Swamiji and his young disciples acquired and occupied. Around this cowshed grew the ashram where the international structure of the Divine Life Society is situated. My first meeting with Swami Sivananda. I came to Swami Sivananda's ashram on 19th March 1943 in the early morning. When I met Swamiji, he was sitting in a small room, which was his office. As soon as he saw me, he got up and greeted me with Om Namo Narayana and bowed down at my feet. I was about 19 then. He made me sit down and asked me what I had come for. I said that I was searching for something. In the first meeting, it was not possible for me to tell everything. He said that I should stay there. And so I stayed for 12 years. During these years, I lived with a person whose every act was in absolute conformity with what we call God's behavior, divine enactment. The more I think about it and compare that with my own life, the more I understand what the word perfection really means. I know that all of you will not have the chance to witness an example of perfection unless, of course, somebody else come down like him. But surely in the case of Swami Sivananda, perfection was an absolute expression of the beauty and magnanimity of his personality. Life in the ashram. During the year with Swami Sivananda, I did not learn Hatha Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Tantra, Upanishad or Gita. Right from the dawn to dusk, and sometime during the night as well, I worked and worked and worked like a donkey, because he gave me just one command: work hard, then you will be purified. You don't have to bring the light is in you. It was not intellectually possible for me to understand what he was telling me, but because I have accepted him as my guru, I had accepted his commandments. For 12 years, I lived a life above time and space, and worked as though I have having hysteric fits. I did everything from cleaning the toilet to management of the ashram. The first year of the ashram life was so difficult that if I imagine them now, I think it must have all been a dream. I am sure none of my disciples would have been able to survive there as Swamis. Along with many of the other young sannyasins, I helped to build the ashram step by step. In those days, we never knew what we were going to eat the next day. Whenever I went to Swamiji, he would say, "You look so lean and thin. You should eat a lot." The only thing I could reply was, "Where from?" Then he would smile and tell me, "No matter, prana is inside you, and from it you can get the energy you need." His smiles were wonderful. I think that if 100 young women laughed, I would not be won over. But one of Swami Sivananda's smile was enough to kill me. As well as having little to eat, we had no place to sleep, no room, no roof, and no blankets. I never saw a mosquito net the whole time I was in the ashram. I only saw masses and masses of huge mosquitoes. From drinking water, we had to descend 300 steps, and of course, we had to ascend them again after we had finished drinking. When I had diarrhea, it was a great problem. Every session involved a 1.5 mile walk. By the time I finished one session and come back, I had to go again. Of course, there would be no water left in my bucket, and I would have to descend 300 steps again, get more water, and hurry to the jungle. Once I had jaundice, and I never knew it. I was returning from the market one morning when an elderly Swami called out, "Hey, you have got jaundice." I did not know what he meant by jaundice, because disease was something I have never experienced before. When I returned to the ashram, I asked Swamiji, "What is jaundice?" He said it was some kind of disease in the body. Anyway, I forgot it and nothing happened. Another time, I had paratyphoid. And being away from the ashram, I had nobody to look after me. I was unable to cook food for myself, and I became so hungry that I went to the garden, picked up some green papayas, and ate them raw. Next day, I had cramps in my stomach. Oh my God, I was in so much pain, but this also passed. During the difficult periods, which were ultimately intended for our evolution, we were unconsciously working day and night in constructing rooms, writing books, and printing them. We never knew that we were working. It was transcendental life, and work was relaxation. I can definitely tell you that during those 12 years, I did not really have any mental turmoil. Even if there were anything troublesome within me, it never dared to raise its head. Living in the presence of a saint. To live with Swami Sivananda was to live with a little baby. In his presence, you were never aware of your ego. Hold a little baby on your lap, then you will find out where your ego is. Whatever your age, whether you are a big officer or a businessman, the president of a large company, the prime minister of a nation, or even a criminal, how do you behave with a baby on your lap? Differences, formalities, personalities no longer exist. That was the effect of Swami Shivananda's personality. And this is how a saint lives. It is very difficult to talk of such great men because what we can say about them, it is not easy to fathom the spiritual illumination of a person. The mind and logic are finite, but the spiritual attainment are infinite. So with the finite scale, you cannot fathom the infinity of spiritual life. Last couple. His departure from the world. On 13th July 1963, I was at Munger, and that night when I was sleeping, I had a very clear vision. I saw Swamiji traveling across the Ganga in Rishikesh on a very big ship. I was standing on the bank of the river while the ship was moving towards the opposite direction. The dream was over and I knew that Swamiji had left his body. The physical body of Guru lives at any moment, it is inevitable, but his spirit remains forever if the disciples can remain in tune with him. Then he guides him at all times in dream, in thoughts and emotions, and in actual life. So let's all of us try to connect with the spirit of Swami Shivananda. Let's close our eyes. Feel his presence here. He is present here. Connect with him. And let us invoke his grace in our hearts so that we also attain the spark of divinity through him. Purify our heart and be his instruments. Visualize a flame in the Hridaya Akash. And feel our connection with Sri Swami Shivananda, Sri Swami Satyananda, and our Guru, Swami Niranjanananda. May they always inspire us and be with us to guide us. With that intention, we start the Aradhana today. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om Tat Sat. We shall chant Guru Paduka Stotram. It is in page number 1, Siddha Stotramala, Devanagari. अनंत संसार समुद्र तारा नौकायिताभ्यां गुरु भक्तिताभ्यां वैराग्य साम्राज्य पूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां कवित्ववाराशि निशाकराभ्यां दौर्भाग्यदावां बुधमालिकाभ्यां दूरीकृतानम्रविपत्तिताभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नताययो श्री पतितां समीयो कदाचिदप्याशु दरिद्रवर्या मूकाश्च वाचस्पतितां मिताभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नारीकनीशा सुपदारिताभ्यां नानाविमोहादिनिवारिकाभ्यां नमः जनाभीष्टततिप्रदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नृपालिमौली व्रजरत्नकान्ति सरिद्विराजशकन्यकाभ्यां नृपत्वदाभ्यां नतलोकपङ्क्ते नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां पापान्धकारार्कपरम्पराभ्यां तापत्रयाहीन्द्रखगेश्वराभ्यां जाड्याब्धिसंशोषणवाडवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां शमादिषट्क प्रदवैभवाभ्यां समाधिदान व्रतदीक्षिताभ्यां प्रमादवाङ्घ्रि स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां स्वार्चापराणामखिलेष्टदाभ्यां स्वाहा सहायाक्षधुरन्धराभ्यां स्वान्ताक्षभावप्रदपूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्यां
नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां कामादिसर्प व्रजगारुडाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्यनिधिप्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम्।
Sadguru Vandana. Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Ram 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 भवसागर तारण कारण हे रविनंदन बंधन खंडन हे शरणागत किंकर भीतमने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने हृदि कंदर तामस भास्कर हे तुम विष्णु प्रजापति शंकर हे पर ब्रह्म परात्पर वेद भणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने मानवारण कारण अंकुश हे नर त्राण करे हरि चाक्षुष हे गुणगान परायण देव गणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने कुल कुंडलिनी तुम भंजक हे हृदि ग्रंथि विदारण कारण हे महिमा तव गोचर शुद्ध मने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने अभिमान प्रभाव विमर्दक हे अति
कहे मनकम्पितवञ्चित भक्तिधने गुरुदेव दया कर दीनजने गुरुदेव दया कर दीनजने रिपुसूदन मंगलनायक हे सुख शांति वराभयदायक हे त्रयताप हरे तव नाम गुणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीनजने गुरुदेव दया कर दीनजने तव नाम सदा सुख साधक है पतिता धम मानव पावक है मम मानस चंचल रात्रि दिने गुरुदेव दया कर दीनजने गुरुदेव दया कर दीनजने जय सद्गुरु ईश्वर प्रापक है भवरोग विकार विनाशक है जय सद्गुरु ईश्वर प्रापक है भवरोग विकार विनाशक है मन लीन रहे तव श्री चरणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीनजने गुरुदेव दया कर दीनजने श्री राम जय जय राम 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 जय राम जय राम ओम शांति 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 हरि
We shall continue the sadhana with Vedic Shanti mantras. After that, we'll do Havan with Satyananda Gayatri 108 times. Shivananda Gayatri.
गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आन शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात् ॐ नमो हिरण्यबाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं त्रोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अवद्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यस्य देवे परा भक्ति यथा देवे तथा गुरौ तस्यैते कथिता ह्यर्था प्रकाशन्ते महात्मनः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ अग्नेय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठां ते नम उक्तिं विधेम। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम।
Shivananda Gayatri, first time from here and then 108 times altogether. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Brahma Prachodayat Swaha. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Shivanandaya Dhimahi
तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे शिवानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम्।
Purnahuti, hands in pranam mudra. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Now we shall chant Sadguru Gayatri once from here and then 11 times together. Om Shivanandaya Vidmahe Satyanandaya Dhimahi Tanno Sadguru Prachodayat. 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 Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Now we shall chant Dev Dev Shivananda. You repeat.
देव देव शिवानन्द दीनबन्धु पाहि माम्।
देव देव शिवानन्द दीनबन्धु पाहि माम्।
देव देव शिवानन्द दीनबन्धु पाहि माम्।
Deva Deva Shivananda Dina Bandhu Pahi Mam.
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 Chandravadana Mandahasa Prema Rupa Rakshamam.
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 Madhura Gita Gana Lola Jnana Rupa Pahi Mam.
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 Samasta Loka Pujaniya Mohananga Rakshamam.
Samasta Loka Pujaniya Mohananga Rakshamam.
Deva Deva Shivananda Dina Bandhu Pahi Mam.
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 Divya Ganga Tira Vasadana Shila 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 Pahi Mam.
Papaharana Punya Shila Parama Purusha Rakshamam.
Papaharana Punya Shila Parama Purusha Rakshama.
Deva Deva Shivananda Dina Bandhu Pahi Mam.
Deva Deva Shivananda Dina Bandhu Pahi Mam.
Bhakta Loka Hridaya Vasa Swami Natha 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 Pahi Mam.
Chit Swarupa Chidananda Shivananda Rakshama.
Chit Swarupa Chidananda Shivananda Rakshama.
Deva Deva Shivananda दीनबन्धु पाहि माम्
देव देव शिवानन्द दीनबन्धु पाहि माम्
देव देव शिवानन्द दीनबन्धु पाहि माम्
देव देव शिवानन्द दीनबन्धु पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय पाहि माम्
सद्गुरु जय शिवानंद सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम
सद्गुरु जय शिवानन्द सद्गुरु जय रक्ष माम्
जय हो।
श्री गुरु चरणं नमो नमो योगं शरणं नमो नमो
श्री गुरु शरणं नमो नमो Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Shri Guru Charanam Namo Namo. Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Shri Guru Charanam Namo Namo. Yogam Sharanam
Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Shri Guru Charanam Namo Namo. Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Shri Guru Sharanam Namo Namo. Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Satyananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Satyananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Niranjanananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Niranjanananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Shri Guru Charanam Namo Namo. Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Shri Guru Charanam Namo Namo. Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo. Jai Ho.
Namo Namo. Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Shri Guru
Charanam Namo Namo. Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Sivananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Satyananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Satyananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Satyananda Guru Namo Namo. Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo.
Satyananda
Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo Niranjanananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo Niranjanananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo Yogam Guru Charanam Namo Namo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Guru Charanam Namo Namo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Sivananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Sivananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Satyananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Satyananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Niranjanananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Niranjanananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo 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 Yogam Charanam Namo Guru Charanam Namo Namo Yogam Charanam Namo 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 Yogam Charanam Namo Guru Charanam Namo Namo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Sivananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Sivananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Sivananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Sivananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Sivananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Sivananda Guru Namo Namo Bolo Yogam Charanam Namo Namo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo Shri Guru Sharanam Namo Namo Yogam Sharanam Namo Namo
Jai Ho.
Jai Ho.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Om 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 Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
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 Remain quiet, sitting with the eyes closed. Imbibe the positive vibrations of mantras, kirtan. Once again, remember Sadguru Swami Sivananda Saraswati on his birthday, imbibing his teachings, his love. Now bring your awareness at your heart center. See the image of Swami Sivananda in your heart. See his smiling face, twinkling eyes, love, compassion. Focusing on the image of his face, we shall conclude with the chanting of mantra Om 3 times and Shanti Path altogether. Inhale deeply.
Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityormamritam gamaya, sarvesham swastir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanat mriत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Hari Om Tat Sat.
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 Now we shall go for pradakshina and have prasad.